Hi friends, it's Amy at Doki Doki Forest. Welcome, I'm so glad that you are here. Today we're going to be working in the color glue book, which is separated by all the different colors of the rainbow, plus rainbow, and black and white and brown. I did try to tape the spine. I used a little of this craft tape, and then I thought I'd put this decorative, I don't think it's washi tape, but it's more like almost like a shipping, like a packing kind of tape, but it has this lace design, but it keeps popping up, so I'll have to put some glue on that. So this week I had a poll on my community tab, and I offered a few choices for what sort of video you would like me to work on this week. And the one that won was the color glue book. So in second place was the watercolor dragon. Now don't worry if you did vote and your choice didn't make it in, because I think I like the idea of having the poll, because then I can kind of see what you all are in the mood for. So I think I'll probably do that again next week, or maybe over the weekend, this coming weekend. So be sure to check out the community tab, just because I don't know if it'll show up on your feed, and if you want to vote, just make sure you pop over there and cast your vote. So because I knew I was going to be working on the color glue book, I went through my magazines and I tried to refresh my collection. So I fussy cut out a few things here, and then I have some larger images over here. So I'm thinking that we will use these new images and see if they can fit in the book, because sometimes, you know, you're looking through the images that you've collected and maybe you've put some of them in, and then you're looking at them and nothing's really working. So I just want to refresh my stash, refresh my options, because I have like a bunch of magazines that I just hadn't gone through, and I thought I was going to harvest them all, you know, on camera, so I was saving them. But I realized I could just go through and look for images for this glue book specifically, and then I'm keeping the magazines again to go through and pick out like words or, you know, just pictures that I like. But I went through some of them just with the intention of looking for colors for the color glue book. And I think that really helped, because normally I'm just ripping out whatever I like, which I like to do that too. But in this case, it was good for me to have an intention and really try to make sure I didn't miss if there was a picture that could work. Okay, so I'm just going to separate these a little bit, clear up the desk, and then we'll go through this together. I think what I'll do is I'll start off in real time with us looking together at these, and then if I start getting a little too quiet or it's taking me a little too long, then I may switch to speeding up the footage. But we'll try it real time and see how that goes. So let me clean this up and I'll be right back. Okay, well, instead we're going to go right to the voiceover. I have such a hard time working in my glue book and talking at the same time. There's just so many times where I go quiet, I stare at an image for a while, and I almost feel like I need to have that real peaceful time to kind of figure out what really clicks for me, like what looks good today. So I feel like when I talk, I'm distracting myself and I can't fully focus. So yeah, it's easier for me to just glue and then do a voiceover. That way I can tell you about some of the things I'm thinking, and you don't have those long pauses of just wondering where I've gone. So it felt really good to have a fresh stash of images to choose from. I was really energized and like raring to go for the colors glue book. I think if I had tried to do this and I took out my same folder with the same images I've been looking at the past couple of times, I may have felt a bit more stumped. But there's something about just trying new images that gets you creatively fired up again. And I feel like now that I've added to these pages, next time I can go and take out my folder and just see if there's anything I can use up. And I actually feel like I am getting to the end of this color glue book. I have a few pages I haven't done yet, and at this point I may do them off camera and then just do a flip through to show you the final pages. And of course, anything like this is never truly done. I mean, it can be done, but you can always take it and add more pictures. You can look at it later and not like a page at all and just glue over it. You can change something. So I feel like I'm getting close to done with this one. And I just love that big clownfish on the right. I liked how he's peeking in. You have all these little fish, and then this big guy's like, oh, hey, what's up, guys? just swimming in. And then I have a little fish that I thought looked cute to go on the left-hand side. So I didn't know I was going to make this a fish-centric double spread, but it just kind of came out that way. But I'm enjoying it. I love having a big image to put on a background. It's just so satisfying to find that one big image. I mean, the small images are fun too, but there's just something about that big image when you put it down and you're like, oh, that's the one. It just feels really nice. And then on the left-hand side where I have the coral and the smaller fish, I like that it covered up a lot of the brown tree branches. So now you really see almost all just orange leaves on that page and just a little bit of branch. And there was just something about this orange monkey I just really loved having with this lady. I just felt like he went with her. I don't know what that story is. I found these flowers and I thought, oh, well, this is perfect. I can cut these out and I can cover up, some of these edges that I have, because I like when the images feel like they blend together, if possible. So I like to try to cover up anywhere that there's like those cracks or seams or edges or corners, that sort of thing. I like it to kind of be more rounded and flowy. I don't always manage to do that, but I do like to do that. And I really liked how this lady looked. She just was nice and bright, and I thought she looked really nice against the background of butterflies. And then I liked these little napkins because I felt like it broke up these heavy flowery images. Not that the flowers were heavy, it was just very, flowery. So many flowers. So it was nice to have something else there. And then I have this cool image of feathers. It's like orange going into yellow. Oh, but first, look at this little yellow clock I found. I was like, that's perfect to go in there. Remember I had that black and white clock and I was like, I don't know why I put that on the yellow page. But then, it works out. Got some little pieces here just trying to figure out. And I just love that little fire hydrant on the smile page because somebody painted eyes on it. So I thought that looked cute and funny. And then I love this page with I think it was like some kind of handmade like wax or some kind of a lotion or something like that, beeswax product. And I just thought it looked so pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and cover up this page. Always feels good to do that. Get those big images down. Oh, that feels nice because then you can just put stuff on top of that image. And for me, I know I don't have any of the white page I have to cover up, so I love it. And then I have this cool like underwater suit. It looks like something out of like a space show from the 50s, and I love it. And I just felt like it popped right there on that yellow. You just audition different pieces, and the lamp I thought kind of matched that, I can't think what it's called, like an aquanaut suit? I don't know. It's like the underwater gear, and then I thought the lamp kind of matched the same sort of yellow, and I felt like it makes the lamp and the suit feel like they're in kind of the foreground and everything else is in the background. It sort of fades. And the thing about this 2-page spread is just I felt like nothing really stood out the way it was. So I really wanted to try to do something to try to make it feel like there was like a star of the page. So I like the left-hand side, but that right side I still don't love. and the feathers. I'm auditioning. And in the end, I decided they could go on this page that's sort of like, it's the last orange page, but I think of it kind of like the transition page from orange to yellow. So I like these images that have both colors. I didn't do that with all of my pages going from one color to the next, but I like the idea of having those transitional pages that can maybe have both colors to kind of bring you from one to the other. And then I decided the little honey pot could go on this page because it just looked like it belonged there. It's just how it is with the glue book. Sometimes things just look like they belong, even if they don't make any sense. So now I'm trying to figure out, what can I do? I know I have found some new images and some new green images and some people, maybe something that could be a focal point for these pages. And right away, I love that on the right, she just matches perfectly with that background. Her dress and her eyeshadow, I love that. And the truck doesn't make any sense, but it was the same kind of colors. And so I fussy cut out her headdress, or I'm not sure what that is. It's some kind of I don't know what you would call it. Is it a crown? Is it a tiara? Is it a headdress? I'm not sure. It's beautiful. It's like rings around a planet. It's gorgeous. So I tried to fussy cut in there a little bit so that way you could see the peaks of the image underneath. Now on the left, I wound up going with this large image of this lady with the green suit and the red hat because I felt like all of the other images of the people were a bit too small. And my lady that was on the right was such a dominating figure. She was this powerful, large image, and I just loved it. And I felt like I needed to have an image on the left that was also kind of this big image that took over the space. So just in terms of balance, that's what worked for me. I felt like all the smaller images of the ladies just didn't look right. And I just wanted to cover up before I glue the lady on the right down and the truck down. I just wanted to glue something in that strip there that was right towards the center. Now, do I think that green matches? No, not really. But it's more like a placeholder because I can probably find something to cover it up with later. I can put something on top of it. I'm not really that worried about it. I just knew I don't want to have the truck and then have the composition book behind it. I just wanted to cover it. So I'd rather have a green that doesn't match, but at least it's green, than have the notebook paper. That's just a personal preference. Again, I try to say that every video because I just don't want anyone to think that they have to cover up the composition book. You certainly don't have to. You can glue however you want. You can have as much or as little of the composition book page as you want showing. There's no right or wrong, so you do what looks good to you. And I felt like the lady on the left, I'm going to jazz her up. I'm going to add some stuff to her suit probably. And I want to add this dragonfly. And I thought, okay, whatever you do, don't rip it because it's very delicate. And of course, I ripped it immediately, pretty much immediately as I had that thought. But it's a glue book. It's all good because we can just glue it back together again. Now the kiwis, what do they have to do with anything? Who knows? But it brings out some of those lighter greens that are in that background image. So let's glue them in. And the moth, I was even thinking, can I fit that in? Maybe this will be a moth person. Maybe she won't even have a face. And then I said, no, I'm going to save that moth. That image is so cool. I'm going to save that for another page. And actually, as I was editing this video, I saw two images that actually looked super cool together that I didn't use at the time, but I think I'd like to use them, and then I'll show you, when I do a flip through. Look at this person on the blue page on the right. Don't they look awesome? They make that image look slightly creepy. Who is this person? Are they spying on the couple? But I wasn't sure if I wanted to commit to gluing it down. So I put it aside and I'm thinking about it while I glue, another page here. And that was my last blue page. So I thought, well, let's go ahead and finish this off in terms of at least just covering the notebook paper. Of course,
I don't know if I'm done with that page. I am pretty happy with it, but I could find something else that just has to go on there. So some glue book pages, can just be one image. Some can be two, some can be a ton. They're all different. And that little square image of a lady on the left there, I thought she would fit just perfectly in that one little section I have there that I wasn't able to cover with the background images. So even though originally I wasn't planning on having something else there, I just wanted to have this blue-footed booby, as these birds are called, I believe. I wanted to have that as my centerpiece, but this lady just fits perfectly to kind of finish off this page for now. This page I really like. Some of my pages I don't like. Like that yellow one bothers me. But this blue one, this one I like. Do you feel like that if you do your glue book? Are there some pages that you just feel like it just feels right? It feels good when you look at it. And other pages you look at and you're like, needs work. Maybe needs to just be covered up, and you'll see me do that. That's a spoiler alert coming up. You will see me cover up a page. I'm just tucking in that image into the center as best as I can. And then I just had this little guy from Inside Out, and he just had to go there. I don't know why. I put him down and I thought, well, let me try him with some other pages, but he really wanted to go there. So I was like, okay. And now I'm going to make the commitment to gluing this person on the outside of this window. I feel like it just tells a good story. Like, as much as I kind of liked the picture before, I actually like it so much better now that I've added this other mysterious character. Because now I feel like when you look at it, like I said, it's like there's a whole story you could tell. Like, what is happening there? I had a Band-Aid package, and it had this little jellyfish on there. I just thought it was so cute. And I thought it matched this lady's, like, really happy, positive energy. So I had to glue that with her. And I'm just trying to go color by color unless I see something that I'm like, oh yeah, that would look good back there. But I was trying to go like, section by section as I go through the page. And by the way, I'm like really excited. I'm really happy that the Color Glue Book won the vote, because this week turned out to be really busy. Just really crazy with doctor's appointments and running around, and I was pretty exhausted. And this glue book was the perfect thing, because it was the kind of thing that I could go in early in the morning and, try to get some glue booking in. Or if I had like time in between, like running out here and running out there, I could sneak away and, do a little glue booking. So me working on this glue book actually took me days, because it was just a little bit here and a little bit there, and I loved it. And it was exactly what I needed. So thank you for voting. And again, I'm really happy that this won, because this is exactly what I needed. And I didn't know that. I thought this week, I was going to be doing a ton of drawing and painting and all kinds of things. And I really didn't have time to do any of that. I would have made the time, though, had that won the poll. But my point being that it's just really cool how the universe works like that, and it was just exactly the right kind of week for a glue book. Now, I really love this lady with this big pink flowers. These flowers I love. They're so big, though, and I really didn't want to chop any of them off. So I'm trying to think about how to put them on. I love her coming out of the flowers, but I know I need to put something behind her, which is why I didn't glue it. But in the meantime, I found this little couple, and I'm going to put them on the right-hand side. I decided I wanted to tear the page so it would really look like it was blended in with the original page. I really love tearing some of the images. They just blend really nicely. And I'm going to save those pink images for when I know 100% what I want to do, or for when I have a background. And then I almost forgot I had this image of Barbie and Ken. So I was like, oh, let me glue them on because they're just, it's a lot of fun. And I know these pages are pretty busy, but for some reason, I just really liked how they looked on this page most of all. So even though, like, these 2 pages are pages I could say, these are done. These have a lot of images, and I think they're good. But then see, you can just stick one more thing on. One more thing. And who knows, I might stick like 10 more things on that page. We'll see. So now we have the rainbow pages. Oh my gosh. So Jeff Goldblum, I love that picture so much. I don't know if anything can beat this picture. Now I had this rainbow checkerboard I thought was pretty cute. I'm trying to figure out what page it can go on. And then I had this lady with a rainbow coat. And then this lady with a rainbow suit. And I love these lips. I love these so much. I think those are so cool. They were from a Skechers ad. And then I thought this rainbow lady would look kind of funny over here, like as if she had flown down and perched on the bird feeder. But I was still thinking about it. So I knew I liked this lady here on this page, glued that down, and then that was enough time for me to think about, the lady going to the bird feeder. So I'm going to go ahead and glue her on there. She's going in to get her bird seed. And then I thought I could cover up that Go Kids up there because I do want to cover that up. But that just didn't work for me. The checkerboard just didn't feel right there. So we're going to go with sticking it here. Now tell me, should I add these lips to this page? What do you think? I thought it was so funny next to Jeff, but let me know what you think. I didn't glue them because I wasn't sure, and I love those lips so much that I'm almost afraid to glue them. It's one of those images I could hoard because I'm waiting for the perfect thing, but I think Jeff Goldblum is the perfect thing for that. So let me know. Now we're into the black and white section. I had this little black fedora, so I'm going to try that on a few of the characters. I just think it looks fun on anyone, but I wasn't sure if it looked good on these pages. I feel like these pages have a little bit more of a serious story. I feel like these 2 ladies are telling the story of their lives and thinking about the past, thinking about vacations and family and work and just the way things were. So I don't think I'll add the fedora to this page. Then on here I have Timothée Chalamet, and I thought it looked cute with him laughing because I thought, well, maybe he's at the magic show and he's really enjoying it. But I wound up not gluing him there because I wasn't sure, and I thought, well, maybe I'll save him because he is laughing. I want to do like a positive, like happy, smiling, laughing sort of junk journal, so I'm going to save him for that book, I think. Love this wolf. Look at that coloring. I just love how he has the black muzzle and then the white around his eyes. Just gorgeous. And I felt like he needed to go on this page with the other wolf and this lady. So even though I already have a wolf there, I mean, you got to have the pack. And then I thought, going into the brown pages, and this lady really needs something. She needs some sort of an animal companion because I just, and I almost went with the teddy bear, but then I tried that little fox and I felt like he was just perfect because he fades into the background and you almost don't even notice he's there. So I loved that. I loved the teddy bear, but I just didn't think it went with that particular page. And this little chipmunk, I thought, I've got my squirrels on this page. I've got acorns. I'm going to have this little chipmunk having a little nibble of, his seeds. And I just thought he looked good on the right page to sort of balance that out. We've got this big old cat, which I would love to put on the left page with all the other cats or even the right page, but it was just too big. So instead, we will add this mountain lion who fits perfectly and again covers up some of those edges. So I'm a big fan of that. really helps to blend those images all together. And now we have some more of these fresh pages, blank pages in the brown section. That's the last section of the color glue book. So we are going to figure out how to cover these up, because I do have some large images. And I just love these pups. Look at that big old pup on the bottom there with his chew toy. But I didn't want to fold him. Every time I put him down, it was like, oh, but I'd have to kind of fold his paw or cut it off. And I didn't think that worked, no matter how I placed him. Anne Hathaway just looks so beautiful. I really liked her on this page because I liked that then I could sort of have her image carry over onto the page next to it. And the washi tape I used on this page is like film strip, so I thought that went perfectly with her since she's an actress. So I'm going to go ahead and just cover up the back cover with this image as well. So I don't need to trim it on the right side. I will need to trim the bottom because it is pretty large. And I guess I need to trim the top too. And then I'm going to have this pup with her. And I'm going to go ahead and glue the pup over here. I am like really enjoying these brown pages. I don't know. I just really am enjoying the images I'm finding for them. And I love the quote that was with the dog. I just want them both to share that. So I'm going to put the pup there, and then we'll put the quote right in the middle for the two of them. And it says, "I'm a natural beauty, inside and out." So I thought that was cute. And I'm seeing if there's anything that can cover up that bottom. I didn't find anything yet. Okay, so we are going back to this page. We are going to see if we can maybe finish this page off, or maybe finish off the entire section, but probably not. I love the lighthouse. I love it because it covers up the words that were on this page, but I also love that it's a different enough tone brown that it really stands out, because I felt like when I put the ladies on, they faded too much. They needed to have something else. But then once I had the lighthouse, I thought they looked really good. So if you ever have an image that you're putting on top of something else and you feel like they blend, just see if you can put something sort of in between them that's a slightly different tone, and it might just do the trick. And then I went back to the beginning of the glue book because I had some more small images for the red and orange that I thought I would go back and see if anything fit. Now I decided to cover up the bottom part of this picture because, to be honest, this intro picture just didn't work for me. I just didn't really like it. And that lady, I feel like, is blending in too much with those reds. And that one as well. But then when I put her here, I really liked it because, again, her red is different from the red that's in the background. Now, I should have fussy cut out between her back and her arm, but I didn't even notice when I was gluing, so in she went. But I kind of like how it almost looks like she's stepping on the stage, too. And this is a nice large image, so I thought, well, this will be perfect to glue somewhere where I need to cover up and, try to make a page complete. So I'm just auditioning it in different places to see. I'm trying the same thing with this lady here. I do like her there. And then I've got a little bird that I cut out. And I love that lady in the telephone booth, but I could not make that image work right now, so I don't know. Have to come back to that. And, yeah, I'm a little stuffy too, so if I sound funny, I apologize. I have a cold again. 'Tis the season. So, yeah, little stuffy. So page 1, I want it to be a page I'm, excited about. I don't want to open the first page and be like, which is kind of how I felt about it before. So I'm going to start covering things up. I like this lady. I'm going to put her on there. And then the only thing is there's some text on her dress. So I know I'm going to have to cover that up. And I have this little bird who can do just the trick. So I'm going to put that little bird there. And I know it probably feels a little heavy on that bottom right side, but at some point it'll be balanced out. And I ripped off that plane that was in the sky because I just didn't like it. And I know there's words up there. I'll cover that up later. I'll figure it out. But I just didn't like the way the plane looked. I felt like I put it there because it was red, but I didn't really put it there because I liked it. And I tried to put the cardinal wing to cover it. I thought that would look cool, but you could still see the text and stuff. So I'll find something for that. And this lady I love. You know, I've got this nice big image, beautiful dress. So I'm like, this has got to work somewhere, right? And I still have that big background image. So I'm like, I know I'm going to cover up that bed if I use this here, but I really like how this all looks together. So again, that bed is like, okay, but I think I just put it there because it was red, not because I loved the image. Whereas when I put these other images on, I actually really love them. And that's what you want. You want things that you really love. You can start with things you like and again, build on it. But hopefully in the end, you wind up with something that you love. Don't ever be afraid to change it too. You can always, you can see me in this book. I've been ripping some things off, or I ripped one thing off, but actually I'm going to rip something else off too. Because you just have to sometimes edit as you go, and sometimes you just need to walk away from something. When you come back, you're like, oh, I don't like that, or I do like that, and you can just make changes as you need to. So I have her on, and there was something lumpy in here. I was like, what is that? So I'm just trying to, there's a little piece of paper stuck in there. So I got that out, flattened that out, and then I realized, oh, she still has that space back there. So I just got a little strip that was just like an extra piece I had cut off of another image, and it's just enough to cover up behind her. And it's a nice dark color like her dress and like some of the images on the left. And I am happy with how that turned out. So I'm glad I went ahead and covered up that bed because I wound up having something that went from liking it to loving it. And again, over here, I've got that plaid fabric, but I'm going to cover that up because I like this lady in the car better. Now, the only thing I wish I did here is that image has on the left side a big white section, and I do wish I had cut that off because I feel like it looks kind of odd, as if like there's part of the notebook showing, or it looks kind of weird. So I'll find something to cover that up too. And then I had this little strip of red too, and I thought that's perfect for covering up that last bit of notebook on the right. And then I can find some things to go on top of it. Just a few things to add to the orange pages. I found another silhouette of a bird flying with the sun, so I wanted to add that because I have a lot of those sort of sunrise or sunset pictures. And then I had this cute little like heart, so I thought that was perfect to go with the lady because she's like, woohoo, yes! And then I had a large image, which I thought would be great for a background, but because I've already used up a lot of the orange pages, I just have a little bit left here that's not covered. So I thought, well, perfect. Let's go ahead, use this, just rip it up and fill in as needed. And then that way, this page is done, or at least the background is done. So I ripped that into 3 different pieces, glued that on. There we go. And then I remembered I have this beautiful lady with an orange turtleneck, and I think she looks perfect on this page. So I was happy with that. And I thought about adding that butterfly, but I thought, do I already have too many butterflies in my orange section? So I didn't add it yet. I may go back, but I just wasn't sure. Once I look at it, though, I actually did like that butterfly on there. I have this little image. Oh, here I go. I'm going to rip off another image now. Those seahorses just weren't doing it for me. Like I said, that whole page isn't doing it for me. And then I realized I have this... Oh, and I ripped the lady off because I had this lady that was like a wrestling lady that I liked. So I ripped that off. I tried to see if I could rip that door off, but I couldn't. I have this little picture of Tom Hanks, and I thought he'd look cute peeking through the doorway, but he was too small. So for some reason, I just thought he looked really good on this page with the penguin. I feel like his colors match the penguin. So he's like popping out of the clock randomly. And these ladies I loved. So I am going to go ahead and stick them over this page that I do not like and I have not liked. And I'm going to just go for it and glue them right on top. And it almost feels like a nice fresh start. And I am much happier with that page now. I am much happier with these ladies. And again, I can still put something on top of them if I want to, if I wanted to add a little something. But honestly, I kind of love it just the way it is. So I had the image of the wrestling lady that I had ripped off, and I had this big jewel, and I wanted to figure out how to use both of them because I really liked both images, and I felt like there's got to be a place where I can put them on these pages. And I felt like sometimes they just, again, they would like fade too much into the background. But I love the wrestling lady above the smile because she does look like she's cheering, and that dark yellow behind her, I felt like that made her pop more than when she was on the other page. And then this jewel I thought was really pretty over here, and I can cover up that silver tin. And that's it. So here are my pages. We were able to do quite a lot of images getting glued on here. We ripped the airplane off. Didn't do anything on that page. Those are the same. This one, we added the lady in the car. Oh, and that little strip on the right side there. We did a lot to these pages. We have this lady strolling in, and I feel like that just looks like it belongs there. And then we have this lady over here. We covered up that bed picture with some new pictures, created something else. And didn't do anything to those pages. This one we just added the dog and cat jumping. And this one we added a few. We added the lady with the nice dress on over here. And we added the napkins and the flowers. Which flowers? The ones right next to the napkins. There's a lot of flowers. And then over here we added our monkey and butterfly. So this lady's got some company. She doesn't look too thrilled about it. And then here we added another seagull flying and the heart. And then on the right hand side we added this pillar of butterflies. And we have some more fish now to populate these pages. We've got this little fish with coral and our big old clownfish on the right. And let's see on this page. Oh yeah, and then this page, we added the lady and the feathers and some more background. Didn't do anything on the right hand side. That's pretty full. This one we didn't do anything with. And over here, we just added our clock and Tom Hanks. We added our underwater suit and lamp on the left, and then on the right we took some images off, and then we covered the rest up with this large image of this trio of fashionistas. We made a new background for the left side and added this beautiful, I guess, topaz and honey. And then on the right we have the wrestling lady, we have the fire hydrant, and I think that's it. But I like how that page is a little bit silly. Nothing there. Nothing there. Okay, our green pages here, we added a lot. We've got this lady, we've got the kiwi, we've got the dragonfly. Then on the right, we have this lady and the sea turtle, the truck, and the little strip of green on the left there, just to finish that page off. Nothing on those pages, and nothing on those. And here we just added a green bottle. Nothing on the other page. This one was just that cute little jellyfish. Just a happy little guy. Nothing on those pages. And then on here we just added our Inside Out character. I can't remember his name. I saw the movie one time. I just can't remember. And then over here we have our mysterious figure. I love that. And then we have our new blue page here. And on the right, we just added that little head with the brain. I don't know if that's a brain. It looks like bubbles, but I guess it's a bubble brain. And then we have a window that I added there. That was it. Nothing on those pages. Nothing on those. Nothing on that one. I had to really look because that's a little bit busy. I was like, did I add something? No. Lady Gaga is just so cool, I'm afraid to cover her. And then I almost forgot because these pages are pretty busy too, but we added Barbie and Ken. Then we didn't add anything there. We did not add anything there, but we thought about it. And then I tucked some images in there for next time. And then we added the little couple at the bottom of this page. And we added the checkerboard. Now, should we add those lips? I don't know. I'm going to leave them in the book because I'm really thinking about it. There's with lips, without the lips. With the lips? I don't know. Nothing on these pages. Those ones are pretty busy. Nothing there, and just a little bit here. I think the only thing is the lady on the bird feeder. And then we just added this image at the bottom. So we got to keep gluing some more stuff on that page. We didn't add anything there. We did add some here. We have the palm tree image, and I noticed that it had like some kind of a fold, so I guess when I was working it got like a fold in the image. So I just peeled it up, glued it, and then I'm trying to smooth that out and get it to go in the center there. So hopefully it'll stay in there. So yeah, we have our palm tree image there, and then there was like this portrait or painting or drawing of a person over there. Didn't add anything there, just thought about it. Same with those pages. And on these pages, the only thing that we added were these bowls, which I love how they look. It's so random though. Another wolf on this page. And then on the right, we added this cute little fox. And then what do we have here? I think the only thing we added was this little chipmunk. Then we have nothing on those pages. And this one, the only thing we added was the mountain lion creeping down. And then we added quite a bit. We have the lighthouse and the ladies. So that page is off to a good start. And then at the back of the book, we have Anne Hathaway and this beautiful pup. So thank you so much for voting. Thank you for joining me here today. I'm so happy to have you along. I had so much fun creating in my glue book. Let me know if you're creating in a glue book too. I hope you're having a wonderful week, and I will see you guys again soon.